Hello, THL. We're back again, almost maybe 11 hours, 10 hours later. Your boy Saku coming in with some intense music there to kind of bring in a intense match for week one between these two teams. So this is the Legacy series that's going down between good buddies. Where are they? Wow. Should have been more prepared. I was not prepared. So I'll start with the introductions to our hosts. That's easier. So we'll go by Anadon. How you doing today, sir?
Wow, what what a fantastic intro.
I know, right? Just
Loved it.
segued right
Nailed it.
into it. Yeah. Yeah.
So perfect. I
Yeah.
loved it. I always enjoy these Sunday night showdowns. Always a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Happy to be back. First one of the season. I'm excited. It is going to be a fantastic match here, deciding the first week for both of these teams. Rockstars of average size versus the Cooler. We've got Judo Chop for the Rockstars and Spine for the Cooler. Currently, the teams are 12-10, so this one will take it all. Winner takes all. It's going to be a big match. Who's our other caster here? Let's intro him. Saku, why don't you take it?
Sure. It's going to be our good buddy Hustle. Hustle just has. There we go. My co-worker from or co-caster there from Friday. Thanks for chipping in for them. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. How are you both doing?
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, can't be better here on a Sunday night. New season, new meta. I believe we have our bans as well. Is that correct, Saku?
Yeah, we get a double DK ban is what's been discovered.
Yep, not too surprising there. So that does mean we have DH, Mage, and Priest for Spine, and Judo Chop there with the DH, Priest, and Rogue. So the Mage and the Rogue, the difference. Any predictions going in on these? No DK, so we're not going to see Blood, Death Knight mirrors here that are going to take us till the end of time. So that's nice. And no Frost Aggro DK either. But for those decks remaining, we have Outcast and Relic Demon are the big ones. Priest, I haven't played too much yet, so I'm curious what you think they're going to bring there. And then Rogue, the Miracle Rogue, just persistent as ever. And then Secret Rogue still, finding a little niche there as well. What are you thinking, Hustle?
Yeah, you can't seem to shake Rogue out of these metagames for like a year and a half now, huh? But yeah, I'm expecting maybe some undead priest. That's mostly what I've been seeing. I suppose it's possible that someone's packing a control priest here or there, but it seems as though the one that's been winning for most people has been that undead priest. There's two lists going around. One that's more of a burn list and one that's more of a swarmy list, and then probably a burn mage in there for spine, which has been, people have been testing out to middle, to mixed effect, but I think that it's got a high potential to win. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that.
Yeah, you think any key weak points here? Pretty much the only difference, like I said, is that mage versus the rogue. So you think that that's kind of like that third option here for those players now that DK was banned, kind of I guess the fourth deck overall, that they're just saying, I'm not sure what I want in the rest of this lineup. Maybe this is the weak point, but like you said, I do think that burn mage has some potential, and of course that persistent rogue still always, really powerful in the right hands.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which decks go up against which as they queue into things, because I think Mage has been a bring that people have been turning to in response to the prevalence of Demon Hunter. I think that Burn Mage has a little bit of an advantage there, but we're also seeing these priests overcoming those mages quite often. So, they don't have as much freeze as they did in the last metagame since the year rolled over, and we'll have to see how they do with it.
Right. So I just asked the players to get going here. So we're going to see Spine. That's going to be our first to spectate. So at the bottom of our screen with Judo Chop at the top of the screen. So one thing I'd like to note, and just to see if it actually happens today, if anybody caught the trio series that was broadcast this morning, Rogue had a funky thing going on with Fizzle. So
Okay.
Fizzle which basically copies all your cards and then shoves a card back into your deck. That ended up battling DK, blood DK, pretty heavily by constantly cycling their cards in their hand and getting all the nice what's it called, steps, a lot of steps in their hand. So they brought back a lot of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if Judo Chop kind of does the same thing. So recycling
I
their
missed that
hand.
trios match, but
Yep.
that's the power of Fizzle, is the ability to just get you a whole bunch of that value back. And
Yep.
Rogue is excellent at taking advantage of value, and I've seen a couple of matches this weekend in which they're able to come back from behind by taking advantage of that value, often off of the 5-cost Naga Lady Tabara.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
so
we are into our match. If we can hop in there,
We are.
friends. We have the mage versus the priest, as we were saying. It is looking like that burn mage and that priest. Tell me a little bit. Is that the undead priest that you have been seeing? It looks like it may be.
Yep.
yes, I lost Judo Chop. There we go.
Yeah, Cosmic Keyboard available here on to with that 1-turn Arcane Worm. Not a bad start. Mind Spike available to clear that off if we want to use 2 mana on that. Alternatively, could go for the Shadow Ascendant just to try to get things going.
Yeah, this list for priest, I'm excited to see. We've been seeing the other one quite often, and this is the one that runs the Shadow Ascendant. I believe it's also going to run Rotting Necromancer, so there's a lot of burst potential. So they don't depend quite so much on maintaining board control. But they do decide in this case to forego dropping the Shadow Ascendant to keep board early.
Now, Mage going to try to fight that a little bit here. Has some board control options with that Nightcloak Sanctum and the Deathborn to follow that up a little bit later. Judo Chop trying to get some minions down here, like you said. Gonna hold off on the Ascendant a little bit longer. Trying to really win that board early. Buffs up that Mind Eater just a little bit with the Arms Dealer. And Dead are swarming.
They are coming here now. I was just checking out the popular list that runs these cards, and they don't have quite as many resurrect effects as you would expect on the other ones. So Spine may be able to uh, defend themselves to the point that they're able to get some just burn right over the top. We'll see if they can last that long with the pressure that Judo Chop is putting on the board right now.
Going to go with that Dark Transformation. Does have the option, yeah, to transform an undead. A little bit awkward mana usage getting that Cosmic Creation, but really wanting to control the board here. Able to clear off 2 of these minions, freeze out that last one, and build out a little bit of a board. They're not going to expect a potential Deathborn on the return swing, so we'll see if that does come into play here. We have the Deathborn on both sides. All right, coining out the Shadow Word Undeath, so that is going to clear off this board, making the Deathborns a little bit less appealing anytime soon, but we'll see how these boards develop. We have Astalor and the Arc Splitter, pretty clean curve here with this hand.
Yeah, that was a terrific draw for Spine to clean up that mana cost that they were looking into, and this is going to put them in control of the board. And fortunately for Judo Shop, they do have some tools to deal with that now, 2 in a row, in fact.
Yeah, second Undeath available here. We do want to go that route. Could hold off on that till we get some back and forth Deathborns potentially. That is risking some damage though taken. Instead, we're going to go for just minions trying to win that board back. None of these are that exciting. Maybe the Nightmare just trying to get stats here for lower mana costs and cycle getting that other 4/3 soldier off of that, getting a little bit more value as well.
Yeah, they really want to try and get this board back. Eventually, they'll be able to get some burn into the face with the Rotting Necromancer, but they've got to get some chip damage in first. And they do have them at 24, so they're not too far off of where they want to be to take advantage of that. But Spine doing a great job of protecting themselves and getting a death win off here.
Yeah, Spine
They're
going for
about
that
to be
6-6
disappointed.
does make it a little bit nicer to see this return Deathborn. At least you did get the cosmic keyboard value there. Yeah, I think the Deathborn, it's not like that extra mana off the Shadow Word is going to be that beneficial in this Deathborn. If they don't have their second Deathborn available, can really swing things here. And
Yeah, this
still
isn't such a
nothing.
bad place to be in.
Commander Savara in the hand available. We have double Arcane Bolt as
Ooh.
well to try to pump in there if we want. They will be mana thirsted next turn if we get them off the Savara. So we could play both conceivably here if we want to pump that Savara, get 6 damage available in that next turn off of Savara. What else did we have in there? What was the first thing we put in there? Was the Deathborn, right?
It should have been the Deathborn, I believe. So
It
that's
was.
going to
Yeah.
be a little bit slow to try and recover. They could, like you said, play the 2 Arcane Bolts to just put them in range of burning down on the next turn. They
Yeah, I
could
like
also,
that.
if they're a little bit worried about taking some heat, they could also just play the Solid Alibi, and it'll be the same amount of Arcane Bolts in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Has the second Solid Alibi in hand as well, so has 2 turns to play with. The Savara setting it up as well once we get those Arcane Bolts back into the hand. So we're just 1 damage off currently with that Savara. Next turn shouldn't be too hard to find, and that Solid Alibi we've been talking about available to hold off even another turn here.
Yeah, unfortunately for the priest, I don't think they have a lot of ways of healing. They'll have to discover one using an amalgam, and even that, the odds are going to be a little bit tight. So it's looking pretty tough for Judo Shop right now. We'll see if they can find a way out of this.
Yeah, so a couple of options here. Nothing too exciting. Maybe another Mind Eater. But we're going for the big stats, trying to maybe hope that we can get something off of that a little bit later. But we're running out of time. We need some stats now. I suppose we had enough to play this turn. Didn't need to find something else to throw in there. Just trying to go as wide as possible here. Get as much chip damage through the Solid Alibis as possible. Probably anticipating another one coming down here, and that is going to make things difficult. I think it's just going to be that Savara into the Solid Alibi, setting things up.
Yeah, that's a great way to go with it. They could go ahead and take care of that right now. They could have even hero powered and then drawn, see what they got, throw the other Solid Alibi they had in hand up to protect themselves, and then they would have had lethal when they did drop the Savara, but they're just going to get them down to 1. They're lethal on the board with the hero power, and Judo Chop needs to find a way to recover or win.
Yeah, no healing available, only a potential of, best case scenarios, maybe like 7 or 8 damage total to the face. That's not going to be enough. And with that, I think we're looking at the win here for Mage next turn, which means, that 4th deck, the Mage taking an early win could be, a deciding factor here. We'll see if it does come into play later in the series. But for now, Spine, I believe, going to finish things off here. Frozen Touch just to add a little bit more damage in case we were worried. And yes, that is going to be game 1 to the Mage. Real quick game there so far. Spine with a nice win there to put the cooler a little bit closer to a potential win.
Yeah, good work by Spine, knowing that what they needed to do was deny board to the priest there. Just be patient. You're going to get the burn eventually, get damage in where you can, and was able to take it there with that mage deck, which hasn't been as popular as some of these other options that people have brought. So it's exciting to see that succeed.
Absolutely. Now with that out of the way, you think Spine is going to try to bring out either that DH, or you think you're going to look for a priest mirror here? Do you think maybe there's some sort of advantage in one of the priest options if we know what that priest is already for spine? Do we, um, like I said, haven't played too much priest this expansion, but yeah, that is there some sort of list or different archetype for priests that might give them that edge there into the mirror?
Yeah, I wonder what the numbers are on the two different priest lists facing each other. I would guess that if Spine brought the other list, that list is stickier on the board, and if they, if they're playing first or able to get some stuff down, it's going to be hard to clear. But they do go with the priest, but we do see a swap for Judo Shop to the Demon Hunter.
Yeah, so maybe that is a signal that we've got a different priest list here that might be a little bit more aggressive. So far, no different cards in the hand yet, so hard to tell at the moment. But Judo Chop with that Demon Hunter, like you said, and Xylag in the hand, not what you want to see early for the Demon Hunter.
No, certainly not. I'm sure they'll kick that back.
Yep.
It looks like they're playing the Relic build. They found a fizzle. And I would expect that this is going to be the same priest list as we saw from Judo Chop in the last match, just based on the Shadow Ascendant and the Banshees, which I don't think the other list typically runs, but maybe they're doing something creative.
Bone Flinger found as well. Just more undead here to start pushing that early board.
Yeah, I love seeing this from Spine. They want to try and be as aggressive in the early game with minions as possible because of the huge recovery that Demon Hunter is able to do with the spellcasters spell power.
Yeah, that is a nice relic off the top, though, for this early game here. Able to clear off both these minions with that and the hero power. I think hold off on that Taste of Chaos. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, Taste of Chaos to finish it off. Did not think about that +1 health there. But yeah, really nice way to clean that up with the Taste of Chaos.
Oh, that was a good discover too. That'll help with the board and give you a little bit of healing at the same time. Great draw off the top there for Spine.
Yeah, Spine saying, I liked what I did turn 1 so much, I'm going to do it again. This time, though, is there a different answer here for Judo Chop? Did have the option for the Lady Centeno into the Predation to clear off, but a little bit less exciting. Going for the Fizzle, saying, I'll take another Centeno, I'll take another Predation, I'll take another I-Beam. I might have to use some of these real soon. And later on, those are going to be just as nice, if not better. So feeling a little bit nicer to use them turn 4 here with that, really nice curve to clear off anything we might see here on the other side.
Yeah, I think that was a really elegant play by Judo Chop because I think instinctively another way to go would have been to be a little bit more conservative, go ahead and drop Sten right there. But now you've got an extra, and that the way this works is if you choose to do that right now to help with the board, it's going to send I-Beam out cast once you play those other two cards. So it's going to reduce the cost to 1, and you'll be able to play all 3. But they decided to go with School Teacher instead. They're not too worried about what's on the board.
Yeah, saying I can hold off a little bit longer on this Cytheno. I've got still the Predation to follow this. School Teacher up to deal with the more threatening minion here, the Shadow Ascendant that's constantly ramping every turn something on the board. The Arm Steel, they have to be able to play something. And we saw that they just jammed a lot of cards. So maybe they're a little bit lacking in options, but we do have the Bone Flinger here. Do have a Shadow Spirit that can also be played. But it looks like, yeah, Bone Flinger plus the hero power going to be the choice. Clear off the School Teacher, push that 4 damage. And now is it finally Lady Cytheno time? We do have the Illidari studies that could add another option, and there's Relic of Extinction as well. So I think, yeah, this might be the go time here. What is the order that we're gonna, we're gonna kill the Bone Flinger here. And then you don't even need to play the Relic this turn, probably just the Illidari studies.
Yeah, I would expect so. Looks like they're considering the Relic of Extinction.
Just get the relics buffed up a little bit more. Push 2 damage. I don't mind it either.
That's
maybe
meaningful. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I wanted to point out real quick that the Noggling has a Relic of Phantasms in it, and so that choice may have to do with wanting to get the most out of those.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I think also maybe the Eldari studies could find you some draw that you want to just use
Ooh.
next turn, or alternatively just find a Relic of Dimensions isn't bad here. We're down to 3 discount. Looks like we're going to go that direction. Are we going to be nothing playable? But those are 2 good pulls to get discounted. Just not playable this turn just yet.
Yeah, a bit of a slow play. You sort of surrender the initiative there, but it's hard to not take advantage of Relic of Dimensions on curve like that.
Yeah, Silvermoon Arcanist, that's interesting. Do we run much? I mean, Priest doesn't really have much spells that deal damage to face, so
Yeah, I don't think that they do, so that's just a
yeah.
minion for them. Ooh. So if they see a rotting necromancer there, they're gonna take that. I think that's a good choice. They're gonna hope that there's another undead near the bottom for the necromancer that they just dredged up to the top. The other 2 cards will not
Yeah.
burn for them.
Yeah, they did get the 5 damage here though, so you know they're just hoping that, like you said, that third card that finds its way to the bottom there is an undead. Right now though, and on the other side of things, has an I-beam to try to get some heal. Looks like going with that as the option here, as well as gonna cast the Phantom. Oh no, going with the Illidari studies here first. Can draw or outcast the attack. I don't know if we're going with Wayward Sage when our 2 cards right now are Nagalings. Suppose we could discount the Zymox. Nope, gonna go with the Glavesmith here. Get a little bit of a cleaner trade. Maybe go for I-beam for some heal as well. Hero power down that Rotting Necromancer. Don't want to really love tanking it, but looks like that is the direction we're going. And getting those 4/4s off of the Relic, pretty good result there. Pretty much, you know, with that curve that we did, we played that extra Relic early. We played the Relic on 6 of Dimensions. So starting to apply that pressure, not quite setting up any lethal just yet, but really something that Spine's going to have to answer here. Rotting Necromancer, not going to be enough pressure on the other side.
Yeah, I really like this sequence of plays from Judo Chop here. Um, they've already seen one Shadow Word Undeath come out. They've already seen one Rotting Necromancer. So that's a lot of the burn and removal potential. And now they're in complete command of the board. Whatever Spine is able to put down, they've got answers to protect themselves from, and they can focus on getting some damage in now.
Yeah, I think might be just the play for Spine here to try to find that second Shadow Word Undeath. Hopefully get an Undead to die. Undying allies, not what you want to see. At least not at this moment. 17 damage available on the other side. How much more can we get with... Is there a FoL spell that gets us somewhere? We've got an uninfused Zymox, so could choose to go for some draw or something here if we're feeling desperate for a little bit more pressure. Alternatively, the Vizier, the Nerubian Vizier.
The Vizier.
The
Yeah,
Vizier.
if I'm Judo Shop here, I'm sort of counting the damage on the other side. You've got one Rotting
Yeah.
Necromancer. There's
Oh.
another Shadowed Spirit in there, but outside of that, they're in pretty good shape. So I'm surprised to see them playing the Vizier here instead of maybe the Zymox for 2 more big bodies with the Fleeting Spirit. But no reason not to play a little bit safely. You can take the Eye Beam, a little bit more healing, and you can.
Gotta cast that on one of your 1/1s, I guess, if you want the healing this turn. So make that trade first, or the attack face first with it. If we're gonna go that route, if we're scared enough of dying, maybe there's an argument for using that I-beam this turn. It's also costing 1, where it's gonna cost more later. So, okay, choosing to hold back, has the 15 damage on board now, so set up for that lethal. Spine has to find something here. That is not the Shadow Word or Death we needed.
Sure isn't.
And I don't think there's anything that's going to prevent lethal here for Judo Chop just on board. That is more than enough. Can only remove 1 damage with that hero power. The Rotting Necromancer, not going to do it. And yeah, we're going into game 3, it looks like here, with a 1-1 score. Judo Chop able to claw back in a little bit there with the DK. I'm curious to see if we get this Priest Mirror up soon and how that's going to differ with these slightly different builds.
It is finished.
Spine saying, yeah, nothing I can do. Don't want to reveal any more information. Let's move on to the next one.
So what does that leave now for Judo Chop after they've taken their first win?
Priest and Rogue.
That's right. Yeah, Priest and Rogue versus DH and Priest. Still haven't seen the Rogue, so could go a couple different directions there. I think likely either that Miracle or Secret, but we'll have to see what Judo Chop chose there. And the DH on the other side could still be something a little bit different. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, you think they're going to run that Priest back there for Spine, or are we going to see something a little bit different? I think they were looking maybe for the Mirror there or for the Rogue. Didn't manage to find it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. We see Judo Chop going back to the Priest and Spine staying on it. So we're going to get the Mirror here, and we'll get to see what differences exist between these two decks. Shadow Ascendant in hand on the offer for Judo Chop. Pretty good opening offer to him there.
Yeah, both
Here for
players with a Psychic
Spine.
Conjurer to start. So both players with a 1-cost option. Get a little bit more out of your opponent as well. Oh, choosing not to keep that Spine, saying, I want something a little bit more powerful, more aggressive. On the other side, though, Judo Chop choosing to keep this hand completely, it looks like. Oh, no, except for that far left. I don't remember what was there. Was it also a Mind Seer? It might have been. That's why I'm confused. But yeah, it looks like the Mind Seer for the Mind Seer. Either way, does find a foul egg here. Spine not punished for tossing away 1-drop, finds an even better 1-drop, I might say, for this early game if you're able to activate it.
Yeah, it wasn't looking so good at first, but they were rewarded off the top with that, and they find something on 2. It will not have the active battle cry because a friendly undead did not die. So they're torn between, clearing the board on the other side or just dropping the 2/3.
So yeah, choosing for the clear there. Now to try to answer on the other side. How are we going to answer this? Don't really want to play a Naked Shadow Ascendant.
A little bit surprising that they went with the clear on the 1/2. I don't really see a great way. I suppose you could make the argument that they're playing around the Mind Seer, protecting that 2/3, but in any case, now they've got a couple of options.
I like
Go
this
with the
option.
Cathedral. Little card
This is
draw,
what
little.
you're definitely hoping for, I think, with this deck in that early game. Finding those foul legs, finding the Cathedral of Atonements or other such buffs for the foul leg to really push that early aggression. And on the other side, though, Undying Allies being played for the first time, able to get reborn on that key minion there, the Shadow Ascendant. I like that quite a lot. Amalgam of the Deep played on top, finds another undead.
Oh, finds a Rotting Necromancer.
Yeah.
And they have Basilisk in hand on 4 with these 2 undead things. So even if Spine is able to clear these here, they're going to get double off of Basilisk.
Yeah, almost really worse if you trade into them. Yeah. With that Basilisk in hand, if we're thinking about that for Spine, it's almost worse to get rid of them. But how do you win a race at this point? They've got the Shadow Ascendant buffing. They've got the board. Might just have to fight back, but what is the strategy? So it is going to be the Mind Spike. It is going to be a trade. Gets the ability, with the Mind Seer to get the Bone Flinger. Oh, sorry, that looked like it was targeting the foul leg. I was a little confused.
It did for a second. That was a little bit confusing. Finish it up with the Banshee. So Judo Chop to decide if 2 of those Shadow Ascendants are worth a Basilisk.
Yeah, just saying no. Gonna hold off. Not enough for me. I've got another Shadow Ascendant anyway. I think I would have liked to see the Basilisk myself, but I don't mind this either. It's not bad. This feels a little bit less pressure for what you really wanted to do. 2 Shadow Ascendants buffing the board could have really potentially put this one away. We do have the Shadow Word on Death though on the other side. Maybe a little bit worried about that.
Yeah, I think that must be what Judochop was playing around, knowing that they could get Basilisk down, but without the reborn effect on any of the minions after that, that a Shadow Word Undeath would just undo that value. And so now they're in a position where they still have that great resurrect effect for after one of these big clears with a Shadow Word Undeath.
Yeah, but Spine not taking the bait here, saying this isn't enough pressure for me to feel like I need to play this Undeath just yet. I'm going to try to reapply the pressure the other way, see what you can do about that. I can clear the Shadow Ascendant. I'm not scared of an Amalgam. Let's see what you've got. You wasted it off. You know, you didn't get the Basilisk last turn. You wasted that opportunity to get 2 Shadow Ascendants. Now the best you're getting is 1 this turn. What else you got?
Yeah, and a super awkward hand now for Judo Chop. They could play a Cathedral and hope they draw into a 2, or be content to use that hero power to maybe try and deal with this Arms Dealer. But they instead decide to drop the running Necromancer.
Yeah,
Hope
we
for
can get a
some damage.
Necromancer, you know, our chain going here. We've got the Necromancer, and again, with I believe those 2 cards in the bottom of the deck were not undead. So again, with that situation, just hoping that the 3rd card that finds its way there is an undead minion.
Now it looks like we're in a little bit of a race. They're, kind of conceding that no, fighting for the board is an attempt in futility. So I've just got to burn them down before they burn me down.
Yeah, I think Spine's going to play a little bit of more of a middle choice here. I think killing that Necromancer might still happen. That's 5 pressure, but we'll see if that does end up being the case. A little awkward to make that happen if you want to push damage, so could alternatively see Cathedral of Atonement here. Yeah, so Cathedral of Atonement with the hero power could also deal with that.
You also have the Bone Flinger active. They could drop that, direct that 2 damage off the Battle Cry to the Running Necromancer, but they do end up deciding to go with the hero power, favoring the secret that they have, the secret burst that Judo Chop may not be aware of.
Yeah, we'll see if that 2 damage does come into play. That's kind of surprise in the hand. Maybe Judo Chop won't be able to predict that as a potential for coming through, but having to make some trades here, fearing for their life, decides to make that trade. And Basilisk available to get a couple of reses here, so does get 2 minions back, that 5/4 and a 2/3, saying if you want to race, you better make it happen next turn, because now I've got plenty of pressure. Let's see if it is going to be enough here. 6 damage on board, has the Cathedral for another 2, another 2 off of the hero power, and another 2 off the Bone Flinger. So 6 damage on top of that 6, that's 12. We're still 6 short. Is there another way to find the damage, or do we have to use that Shadow Word on Death here and just push the damage we can?
I don't see another way. Maybe you could get some extra if you killed your own Banshee, if you're able to get that down, but I don't know that that's going to do enough to get you there. And so they've got this way of protecting themselves with the Shadow Word Undeath. They've already seen Basilisk, so they don't have to worry about that coming back. They can get some more things out on the board with a Reborn effect, and then just clear their opponent's stuff, and they're in really good shape.
So choosing to Reborn that Shadow Ascendant and follow it up with that Undeath, going to be able to clear off that board very nicely. Make one more trade here. Do you trade off your Reborn to push the most damage? Or just going face, saying,
Yeah.
what can you do? How can you do 13 damage to me in one turn? I don't buy it, so.
So if If Rotting Necromancer can hit an undead, that would be 5 plus 3 is 8, and then just 2 from the other chances. That would be a Cathedral of Atonement or a Hero Power. So just have to draw first.
Yeah, so not quite enough. So I think we're gonna have to see a trade. Is there even a trade that can save you? You can trade and then remove the foul egg, but then you're dealing with the 3/3 undead chicken.
Yeah, it looks like a close one, but it looks like this one's going to go to Spine in the end.
Yeah, very close one here in the mirror, but Spine with that slight edge. Surprising with that mulligan. I thought that Judo Chop had the edge, but able to turn the corner there, Spine, get that second win, and going one game away, or one win away potentially, for that first week win for the Cooler in this neck and neck battle here in week 1.
Yeah, huge to be up 2-1. Just need one more win, and it looks like what's left there for Spine is going to be the Demon Hunters. So we'll get to see what they're bringing in that class.
Yeah, with that in mind, you think we're going to see that Rogue, or is it going to be that Priest one more time saying, I feel like this Priest has the better chance? Worst case, I have to bring that Rogue and win that matchup later, but gonna hope that I can get at least that first win with the DH or with the Priest and see what I can do from there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's best there, but my expectation would be to swap over to the Rogue because of just the high potential to roll so high using those locations to get some really big minions early. Um, that is going to be really difficult for Demon Hunter to deal with in the early game, whereas they're going to have to take advantage of these reborn effects and resurrect effects if they're going to want to beat the Demon Hunter, I think, because of its excellent ability to recover on turn 6, both clearing a board and usually getting back to full health. They decide to just stick with the priest. They say, I've got to win with this sometime.
Yeah, so deciding indeed to stick with that Priest, hoping that they can maybe get that cheeky, aggressive win before that turn 6 swing. We have Unleash Fell in the hand already for that option, or for that potential. Spine saying, I'll draw it before then. I don't need it early. I need to win early. Find the Arcanist. That's a bigger piece in that puzzle. And does find the Arcanist here. Taste of Chaos, a nice option for the early game.
Yeah, and the Relic Vault in hand, so a couple of turns to try and draw Relic of Phantasms or Relic of Extinction for a little bit of control help, and good heads up by Spine on the mulligan, keeping the Taste of Chaos. Gives them a way out of dealing with this. They also have the Illidari studies.
Yeah, choosing to go with that Illidarius finds a Spectral Sight. Could go for that with the coin or with that Sigil Runner this turn. Fight for the board that way. Fierce Outsider, also interesting, does get you that trade, and your next Outcast is going to cost one less when that does come about. Choosing to hold back, though, saying this, 1-2, what do I care?
Yeah, I can take 1 damage.
Yeah, save their potential to deal with threats a little bit longer. Saying they can't Cathedral of Atonement on 2. They don't have the coin, I do. I'm safe at least for another turn. Let me hold off and maybe surprise them with something next turn.
Unfortunately, they forego the Outcast on that Fierce Outsider, so they will not get a discount if they choose to play it this turn. They do have the Taste of Chaos, however, if they want to coin into that.
Yeah, it looks like, I think with that play, maybe we will see the coin and the Taste of Chaos. Don't really want to give that Banshee's Death Rattle the ability to proc onto a minion here. So yeah, that is going to be the play. And it does discover your Fel Spell, maybe something you could do next turn if you don't just play the Nerubian.
Instead, deciding to use that Hero Power to save the Taste of Chaos for something a little bit down the line.
Yeah, I don't mind that either if we're committed to that Vizier route. Vizier.
Ooh, that's a nice draw.
That is a nice draw. Can start pushing that pressure on the board. Only 1-1s and 2-2s, but I think got to start juicing that Relic Vault. Got to start juicing the Relics. And the pressure is going to be nice here this early before that turn 5 option for the board clears.
Now, Judo Shop is in a position to be able to take advantage of this arms dealer off the top with the Undying Allies and clear one of these 2/2s with the Mind Seer. So it's a little bit of reverse pressure from them, some card draw off the location. Pretty good response from them. And we'll have to see what Spine can do to deal with now these reborn minions that are going to be difficult to remove.
Going for the gargoyle here, saying I need more power. I'm not putting enough pressure. I'm top decking now. I'm probably going to just be able to play everything I draw off the top. So let me have a high cost card I can play in a later turn. You know, something else to do.
They choose not to draw right away, and I think that's probably fine. They couldn't play another card anyway, and this way they can choose to give the extra stats to the most meaningful minion on it the next turn.
Oh, interesting options here. Feast of Souls could come into play into this type of matchup. Gonna go for the deal with the Devil here instead. Get the lifesteal. Health is always going to be nice in this matchup as well. There's another deal with the Devil available. Only getting 2 off of those, but a 3-cost one feels real nice. So going to take that option and then the Predator, or for the Predation on the other.
Oh, not a good draw for Judo Chop there.
No, not at all. Not playable. So going to look for something else that is playable. It's not that exciting, but it will do something. Finds the Predation. Not
Oh, that's a
really
good bird.
quite enough to do something here on the board, but yeah, it is burn damage. That is going to go to the face. Just saying, whatever. I have the mana now. Let me use it. Next turn, it's probably going to be this gargoyle. And then on the other side, that's triple predation available.
And the Naga coming down in the school teacher. A little bit more burn in the Chaos Strike. If they wanted to trade some of these minions in, they could get some draw. Looks like they go for the Mark of Scorn.
Yeah, I'm going to use some of these predations here. Just try to really win this board as soon as possible. Gonna forego the hero power here, instead going for that Mark of Scorn.
Oh, that's great. They do draw the spell off the top, and the spell is another Relic of Phantasms with an active location on the board. So about to put a bunch more stats down.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really big here to try to take the series for Spine. Now we're going to have to fight through this big gargoyle twice, though. At least big on one end.
Now they've got 2 Silvermoon Arcanists in hand, so they can use that to try and buff these predations that they've been holding on to. But they look like they're going to fill up this board with some Phantasms first.
Yeah, so instead, going to have to use double predation here. Did not want to use the Silvermoon Arcanist. A little awkward. You'd think that maybe you wanted to play the Arcanist first, get the value off of one of the predations, then make some trades after you see how that nets out. But not too big of a difference here. Able to get those Fell Fiends down as well, so that's
what a
nice
draw.
to have. Yeah, that draw is insane here for Judo Chop. Able to completely eliminate this board now after all that hard work from Spine. Now this is not looking great, but we did find the Astalor could put some pressure here, play both Astalors. Not going to be able to get the armor off the other one, but might be worth just getting the stats down halves to apply pressure there. Again, Spine. Oh, Spine instead applying pressure with the Arcanist, saying, this is good enough for me. It's 2-2 instead of a 5-5, but I really do want that armor. I can wait one more turn. This also gives me some options with spell damage if I find something off the top. Oh boy, and that's some pressure here from Judo Chop, saying you better finish things quick if you want a chance. Prosecutor Meltranix.
Yeah, that is not the card you want to see when your opponent's just got one card in hand. 2 on their next turn. So I'm expecting to see this armor gain come down here.
Yeah, armor gain it will be, but is it going to be enough here? No way to really clear these cleanly.
So they're up to 12, and you see Judo Chop threatening with
11.
11.
No, that's just lethal, right? With the Cathedral and the hero power, that's just lethal on board. So I don't
I'm
think
not
there
sure the
is.
Cathedral opens up until
Oh, you're right.
2
You're right.
turns.
Yep. You're right. So just 2 off here.
Oh, but
Or
they
just 1
find the
off.
Rowdy fan off of that death rattle. That might be enough to do
Wow,
it.
that is definitely enough to do it. The Rowdy fan gonna be, or the Rowdy fan gonna be able to do it, and that is a 2-2. The priest able to do it. We are gonna see what that rogue is, and we'll see if it can take down this demon hunter. Is it gonna be enough, or will the rogue secure the win here in the end? This series going all the way to game 5. In the first week of THL this season, the
Yeah.
teams are neck and neck. It's down to this.
They fighting
For the
hard.
week,
Here we
not
go.
not just for the series too, but for the week. What
Yeah, for the week.
an exciting way to finish the week up.
My knives are ready.
All down to this game, Rogue versus Demon Hunter. What rogue's it going to be? It is what we expected, I believe.
Yep, it does look like it's going to be that Concoction Miracle Rogue, and an excellent couple of cards here for Spine. I think that Philadelphia Studies might be a little bit of bait. They decided to keep one, but they do get the Relic Vault and the Relic of Dimensions, which you love to see.
Yeah, on the other side does find Potion Belt alongside that. Alchemist is not bad. Stenographer, something you want to see a little bit later. Krabito as well. But we'll see if Geochop's able to kind of put together a hand here. Could certainly do it with a few more pieces. Spine, on the other hand, going for that early Illidari, gonna go for the draw. Are we gonna play it out? I don't see why not. It is gonna come down. And there's a Relic of
Oh,
Phantasms. Love to see that. Can ramp in, do the Relic Vault, Relic of Phantasms. And then by the time your Relic Vault opens, you can play that Relic of Dimensions. It's gonna be real nice.
yeah, this is a really excellent curve for Spine. Judo Shop's going to really need to be judicious with how they choose these concoctions here. They go for the for the sprint,
Full
which
draw.
will be free for them with the Ghoulish Alchemist.
Yeah, nice to have in the hand there to be able to get that Potion Belt once again here on this next turn. Oh, and with the prep available, you can't prep that Potion Belt though, unfortunately. So yeah, gonna actually just go for the draws here. Next turn could just draw again with that mixed concoction now in that shadow. Instead, Ghostly Strike coming down, saying I don't care about drawing more. I got plenty of draw in my hand. I don't
It
need
looks
the
like
nibbles.
they have what it takes to get this scribbling stenographer down if they want to, but they decide to hold it.
Yeah, choosing to hold off for a bigger swing. Really want to get that location before they do something like that.
Yeah, and this is great
Or
because they do have Blood Mage Dalnos in hand, so they can pair that with the Phantom Knives to clear this if they want to.
yeah, I like that play. It looks like Judo Chop considering that here. Lines up pretty nicely with the mana as well. Instead, looks like we're gonna go for a double Fan of Knives.
Oh, and they draw Phantom Knives off the top, so they don't have to use this Shadow card in hand to be able to clear that board.
Who here can spell Zinjari?
Right, went for the Fell, Unleashed Fell off of the Nagaling.
And we do see the location in hand for Judo Chop and a bunch of ways of discounting cards. So we may see a huge pop-off turn right here.
Yeah, double Stenographer in hand, has the Alchemist, needs to find some potions though to go along with it. So might hold off one more turn. No, looks like we are going to try to go in here and can do the prep into the Bone Spike. Does get the kill with that Thalnos, so that does mean can keep things moving here. Just play all the stuff. Play all of the stuff. Shadow Step. Something. Doesn't matter. Just not the one that you haven't attacked with yet. Otherwise, doesn't matter. Play it. Shadow Step it again. Play another Stenographer. Play a Stenographer. Play that Hero Power. And you're all in, but what are they going to do about this? This might be it here. Judo Chop able to get a huge turn going, even saying, I'm going to hold this Shadow Step. Why do I need 2 more power on that Haunted Conscience? This is exactly lethal on board. You're going to have to find something else if you want a chance, and I don't see it. I mean, we can do that coin relic that we were talking about, we were so excited about earlier, but just not going to do enough here on most cases. We'll have to see what we get.
Yeah, that might be just a Hail Mary play. Hope that you can find, a huge discount on another Silver Moon Arcanist or on maybe a pair of the Unleashed Fells. You do have that
Yeah.
Noggling in hand.
Yeah, you
Well,
could
the Noggling is
Arcanist
going to be too
Noggling.
expensive.
You can Arcanist Noggling here for 2, but you're not getting any heal. You do clear off a good chunk of this, but it's not that exciting. And is it going to be enough? Oh, sorry, 3. No heal though, but yeah, I suppose it's not bad. Able to clear off a lot of the threat there, but still facing down 13 damage after having to tank 4 of that. It's looking pretty rough here. Would it have made a difference if we had used that Shadow Step last turn? I wonder how much damage would we have had. We had a 11 on there instead, so we would have had 2 more damage here. So we would have been 1 off actually, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been quite lethal. So it was a good call because now they can use this Shadow Step for whatever they want to, but it doesn't look like they're going to need it in the end. Spine in a position where they need to clear all of this to be able to survive with what would be a 2-attack weapon once Krakatoa is gone, and then hope they don't have any burn in hand.
Yeah, might just have to be a Hail Mary like we were talking about last turn. But now a little awkward space in the hand, so yeah, gonna coin out the Relic of Dimensions here. Has 1 mana to play with. Lady Sitheno might help that along. Relic of
Oh, and then
Extinction
a
as
Relic of
well.
Extinction.
That might really be enough. Taste of Chaos as well. Okay, Sitheno, come on down. Play everything else that you can. Sitheno first.
Do they need Sitheno?
Do they need it? No, they don't with the Relic of Extinction. They do not need the Sitheno. So that's fair. You could just hold off, play the Taste of Chaos, Relic, Taste of Chaos.
Oh, that deal with the Devil's tempting because of the lifesteal. They go for the
Yeah.
predation. They say, I've got Sitheno at 0.
Oh, interesting. Now why are we going this direction? No, and you did it in the wrong order as well. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're trying something, hoping for the best. Not going to be quite enough here. Missed out on a little bit of damage. Not the best order, but still alive here at 1. Is there going to be something off the door shadows? Will we find 1 damage? And that is not the 1 damage. That is not the 1 damage. Can try one more time. Got the Gone Fishing.
I don't know if they're running burn in this list. I have seen some lists running Eviscerate.
Well, we
in which case
saw
the Door of Shadows
Ghostly
might be it.
Strike. That's all you need. We saw they already run 1 Ghostly Strike. They probably have another one, right?
Yeah, I've got to imagine so. So the Door of Shadows may do that. They've got another draw off of the Shadow copy with the Gone Fishing, but I would have loved to see the.
Oh, Gone Fishing. You got it. Oh, what's happening? What's... Oh, we're
they're going to
playing.
try and find it off a concoction with Putricide.
Okay. Okay. But,
Have to roll high. That's not it.
that is not it. Muck Pool's not going to do it.
It will have a huge minion, a huge ghost, though.
Yeah, big ghost and down to 1, so it's going to take a little miracle here on the other side. It's not looking like a miracle to me.
Yeah, you need to find some recover. You need to discover it off the Tide of Chaos or off of your Relic of Dimensions. You've got to draw exactly into some healing.
But how do you get it off the Taste of Chaos? You can't even do that.
Yeah.
What could you play for 0 mana that heals you?
Yeah, if You take it off the. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything that you could play for 0 mana.
I think it had to be Relic into Silver Moon into the second, or a heal of some kind. I guess I don't know. I guess into the Relic of Extinction, but then you're just dead on board still. You need to heal and Relic. I don't know how you have enough here. This isn't going to be enough. Okay, Relic of Dimension is going to be played anyway for extra mana. Not
Well,
sure
there
about the.
does find that Unleash fell, but not going to be able to clear the minions on the board.
Yeah, that's just not going to be enough here. Unfortunately, it can clear off the 1/4 Putricide, but nothing to do about that big 10 attack minion, and that is it. Judo Chop with the win. The Rogue not able to, or excuse me, the Rogue able to take it there. The Demon Hunter taking the loss, the final loss here of the series in Judo Chop with a win here to take Rockstars of average size to the first win of the season for their team, for any team this season. Well done there for Judo Chop. Taking down an opponent with a bigger PR than them by quite a margin. Really close series. Well played by both, but in the end, it's going to come down to that Rogue taking the win. Those Shadows just too powerful. Miracle Rogue still just so strong after all this time. It just keeps going.
Yeah, incredible power there, incredible potential to do exactly what it just did, generate these huge minions that are really, really difficult to deal with. And when you're as low on health as Spine was, facing into just Rogue doing what Rogue does best, you have to you can't make any mistakes. And they didn't really make any mistakes, save for that maybe one turn that got a little bit sloppy there at the end. But even there, would that have been enough? Hard to say. They were really fighting uphill and really well played on both sides in an exciting 5-game series in a tough matchup.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, welcome, Judo Chop. Congratulations on a very, very close win there. Back and forth there into Spine. Able to beat someone with a much higher PR, so really well done there. And on, with all that pressure, coming into the game here, down to you. Your team did their best, able to get just a little bit ahead of the cooler, but not enough for you to coast through it. Had to get the win, and you were able to do just that in that last moment there. How do you feel, first of all?
That was a lot of pressure. Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, amazing, and able to handle that pressure indeed. Especially with that back and forth. Like I said, there were moments there we thought it was over for you, but you're able to get it back. Tell me a little bit about your deck choices here. We saw both of you bringing that DK banded out. Not surprising there. Both with the DH, both with the priest. But you went with that rogue. They went with the mage. They got that mage win early. I thought maybe the rogue was going to be an issue for you, but Miracle Rogue did Miracle Rogue things and able to beat the DH. Yeah, how did you feel first of all about their classes and what you brought and first week always a lot of things to test out and see what works, but how did you feel with your lineup?
Well, I ran a very similar lineup for the trios, which I piloted, and I've also done a lot of Battlefly tournaments, and I've noticed that Relic is favored in the matchup versus Outcast. Yeah, and I've just been working on playing Miracle Rogue. It's been around for a while, and I've never really got the hang of it, and so, but starting to play now, and yeah, got lucky, I guess.
I will say you definitely piloted it pretty well there, able to get those big shadows when it counted, able to really push that pressure, and showed some reservation at times where you could have, and ended up working out there for you. So I think don't hold yourself, sell yourself short there. Definitely showing that practice coming through. So well done. Um, what did you think about, I guess, the rest of the lineup there? You said you felt like the DH you had that the Outcast versus the strict relic there, and then you talked about the priest as well, you had kind of similar decks there, but I think there might have been a little bit of variation. How did you feel about your deck versus what they were showing there for the priest?
Yeah, well, I noticed there's two kinds of undead that are being run, and I I chose to go with the burn version because from watching the VOD of the trios tournament, I was like, wow, well, said I should have gone burn, so probably should go burn next time, you know. And the mage was kind of not unexpected, but it's not. I was kind of shocked that they got the first win, and yeah, I was worried, really worried. Had a really good opponent.
Yeah, no question. All the more to say about how you played and your improvement for sure. So really well done. Thank you, of course, for coming on. Hustle, you got any questions for Judo Chat before we let him go?
I think you covered all the questions I might have asked. Just huge congratulations in a really, really intense series. Really high level, well played. Would have never known that you hadn't had as much experience with that Miracle Road because it just looked clean the entire game. So now it's time to go celebrate with your team and prepare for week 2. Really, really well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Hustle.
Awesome. Well, Saku, I think that is our only match for tonight.
It
Love
is,
to have
yeah.
more of you on here in the future if you're interested. Having a good, bout with a buddy, whatever, grudge match, fierce rivals, whatever it may be. Come on down. We'll have a good time. You'll learn a few things. We'll learn a few things. And people will enjoy watching some stream for sure.
Absolutely.
That's right. So, and just to kind of wrap things up, we are going to just announce, I guess, two TV shows. Wow, the THL's getting into TV now. I don't know if anybody knew that. Joking.
Find us now on Apple Plus.
Roku.
Yeah, that's right.
Roku.
Roku, yeah. Start hitting Roku up.
Tubi.
But no, Tuesday is we're gonna end up having 2 shows on that day. So Bone Master coming in with Sidebar and his version of basically take on Hearthstone and what the THL is producing. Then we have Hearth Center obviously with Lotus Night or Lotus Night there at 9 p.m. on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Bone Masters 1 Sidebar is on at 8 a.m. Eastern. So if you're up early, then you can listen in. If you're up late, then you can listen in to Lotus. So, but strongly encourage anybody else out there in the THL that wants to be on stream, similar to what Judo Chop and Spine did today, is they reached out and we're happy to get them on, stream and just have some fun. So
I definitely appreciate all your hard work, Saku.
Hey, it's a collaborated effort. So, like my crew here, all the board members, all that jazz. So, but
viewers,
that's right. So
And viewers like you.
Viewers indeed. So, and that's exactly what I was just about to say next. Was like we had 36 viewers watching this match tonight. So, thank you all for coming in, and yeah, we'll see you on Tuesday if you're freed up. That's about it. So we're gonna try and raid No Hands Gamer here to see if anybody else still wants to watch some great Hearthstone. No Hands Gamers been a staple of deck building and whatnot. So I would strongly choose to go over there. So let's check him out right now.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic player. Definitely stick around, check him out. Thanks for coming and watching us.
Yep.
And come by next week again, as we said.
We'll be here next Sunday, same time, 9 p.m. or 8 to 10 p.m. potentially, depending on the game. So, thanks all.
All right. See y'all later.
Take care, everybody.
Team Hursley, thanks for the raid, everybody. Chad, also running Renthal allows you to flex your collection, you know?